Samen met Alexander Blom, tv-maker bij Family 7, reis ik door Israël. Met ons reizen mee Richard Donk, journalist van het Reformatorisch Dagblad, en Henk Visser, fotograaf. Israël is bijna dagelijks in het nieuws. Zogeheten nieuwsfeiten waar iedereen wel een mening over heeft. Ga met ons mee op zoek naar het menselijke verhaal achter de krantenkoppen. In het nieuws hoor je best regelmatig over aanslagen die in Israël plaatsvinden. Dat mensen worden neergestoken, neergeschoten. En we zijn nu onderweg naar Kay Wilson. Zij woont in Arad, een beetje in het zuiden van Israël. En zij heeft zelf een aantal jaar geleden een aanslag meegemaakt. En ik kan mij natuurlijk geen voorstelling maken hoe het is om dat mee te maken. Maar ik ben wel benieuwd hoe ze ermee omgaat. Of ze bijvoorbeeld haat heeft tegen Arabieren vanwege het feit dat iemand haar heeft neergestoken. Dus we gaan naar haar toe en ik ben heel benieuwd naar haar verhaal. Mesaanvallen van Palestijnen op Israëli's zijn de laatste jaren enorm toegenomen. Met een triest hoogtepunt in 2015. Vele Israëli's en hun aanvallers lieten het leven of raakten invalide, om nog te zwijgen van de emotionele trauma's die velen opliepen. De vrouw die we nu gaan ontmoeten is erin geslaagd om haar trauma om te zetten in een strijd voor gerechtigheid voor Israël.
Hi, Richard. Hi, Richard. I'm sorry, I don't have much to give you to eat.
No problem. We just had a big salad, so don't worry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't let the dogs out.
And the mines.
Oh yeah, the mind. That refers to my state of mind.
Okay.
Come on in, come and you can meet the wild beasts.
The wild beast, okay.
Yes, Munchkin and Sheba.
Aww.
Yay! So I'm in the middle of moving, you can see, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mess. So sorry, you're just going to throw everything, find the seats.
Yeah. When are you going to move?
Monday.
Monday, really? Okay.
Yeah. So who's having what? Me?
Let's take the breakfast.
Munchkin, you going to be a movie star?
What about your shirt?
What about it?
Stand
Stand with us.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great organisation.
Yeah?
An educational organisation that teaches people about Israel.
Are you part of the organization?
Yes, my important title is that I'm an educator.
You're an educator?
Yes, so I tell my story.
Yeah?
And I speak about it being a democratic country, that it was an Arab Muslim Israeli surgeon who saved my life.
Mm.
You know, so, because a lot of people have the wrong idea, about Israel.
And about the conflict, you mean?
Yeah, and then there's a lot of people who just hate for the sake of it, spread lies, all in the name also of peace organisations.
Yeah.
So I go there and I tell, it's not. Have you actually been to Israel? Have you seen for yourself, that kind of stuff? Most of the audience that I speak to so far have not been hostile. But there have been. No, there was one.
Maybe ignorant or something.
Ignorant, but there was definitely one audience who I spoke to during the Gaza war. They'd got free Hamas T-shirts on and stuff. And then I told my story.
Yeah.
And I got a standing ovation.
Really?
And then they took their they took their shirts off.
Yes.
And they said, "We're so sorry, we didn't understand."
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I said, just put your shirt back on, but turn it inside out.
Kay Wilson is een markante en bijzonder hartelijke vrouw met een groot gevoel voor humor. Can you make them do tricks?
It's all right. Yeah, it's all about you. It's okay, dogs. It's all about you.
Dit is onze eerste ontmoeting, maar het voelt alsof we elkaar al jaren kennen. Achter haar lach schuilt een diepe pijn van wat haar is overkomen. Kay groeide op in Londen. Op haar 20ste besloot ze te verhuizen naar Israël. Als Joodse vrouw voelde dat voor haar als thuiskomen. What kind of person were you when you came here?
I think I have to expand the question. I am the certain attack, which we'll talk about, happened on December the 18th, 2010. So my world, it's divided from that date.
Before and after.
That's it. Absolutely, it's such an incredibly cosmic events that I'm not any longer to say, oh, I was like this when I was little, or I was like this when I came to Israel. All I have is who I was the minute before we were attacked and what I've become afterwards.
Can you take me back to the moment of the attack?
I'd rather not, actually, but well, let me preface it by saying I became a tour guide in, I don't know, 2006. And that's because I'd felt, I was so in love with Israel, with the people. It's my history, it's my land, it's our land, and I wanted to convey that enthusiasm. I was very worried about anti-Semitism then starting. And I thought, if you can actually get people here and explain, and you can dispel anti-Semitism, they can meet the people, we've done a good thing. I also guided in Poland once as a minor guide, a historic tour of the Holocaust. And it was in August of that year that I met this Christine Lucan. She was part of the group. And I decided, she had so many questions. I thought, this is great. So I invited her over for a long weekend. I said, look, I'll be your guide. I'll show you the real Israel. So on Saturday, Shabbat actually, the 18th of December, 2010, I'd planned the whole day, and we were going to finish with a hike in the Jerusalem mountains on the Israel National Trail. Go out on the hike. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon, and we're sitting on this rock. And I'm showing her, where is everything. And we're looking like down in the valley. And then I suddenly see, like 20 meters down the slope of the hill, I see two men, and they're like crouched in the bushes. So we're about 100 meters off the trail. It's a tour guiding point I knew from guide school. But they're 20 meters away. I'm thinking, what are they doing? They haven't come to pick blackberries, and they're not foresters. And I could tell by the way they're dressed, because I've been here so long, that they're Arabs.
Yes.
So I felt very nervous about robbery or something. I had my backpack. And I just went like this to Christine, hoping that they didn't see us. And then one stands up and he asks in Hebrew, have you got any water? Now, I didn't want them to come too near. And I didn't want to, irritate them. So I just said, oh, I wish, and they went away. So Christine asked, what was that about? And I said, look, don't worry, they just wanted water, but let's get back to the car, because I still suspected they'd take my backpack. So I took out my little knife, just in case, could fend them off. And we hurry back down towards the path, and she's behind me, and I hear her scream, and I turn around, and one of them pounces on me, knocks me to the ground, smashed my nose, my lips, and I'm trying to struggle with him, and he rolls me over on my back. And now he's like kneeling his way up me, the air's going out, and I can see his crotch, and I try to stab him there. I think I nick him in the thigh, but it's enough for him to go back. But he's bigger than me, and he hoists me to my feet. And I'm looking around just to see, where's Christine? And the other guy is holding her like this. He's got a kitchen knife this long to her throat. And then the one who has me, he's wearing an Israeli police jacket, a stolen one. And he puts his hand in it, and he takes out this knife. It's a machete, and it's serrated, and it's glinting in the sun. So when I see that, just from nowhere, it's like a fountain. You sweat, and shaky, and absolute comatose. And we're standing there, and he takes my backpack, and he starts going through it, and he takes out Christine's passport. Now, I'm unable to speak, I'm so shocked. And she says, I'm an American Christian, I'm an American citizen, Christian, take my passport. So that kind of shook me, and I have responsibility. I have to take care of her because she doesn't know Hebrew. She's the weaker person. And I had an idea because I know these people want to murder Jews. So I said, oh, I'm a British Christian. I'm a tourist too. But he goes through my stuff and he finds my ID card, and it's written in Hebrew Jewish. And so the game's up from that point of view. And I start to think of the worst, that they'll rape us and murder us immediately. And they didn't. So I'm very confused. You know, it adds to the confusion, and time is ticking on, and they don't seem to be interested in anything. And we're in the most beautiful place. You know, it's so green, and there's pine trees, and the birds are singing, the crickets are chirping, and we're being held at knife point. And time ticks on, and about after 20 minutes, one of them moves away, and he makes a phone call in Arabic. And I know some conversational Arabic, and I can hear they're trying to coordinate with a car. So this most dreadful thought comes into my mind that we're going to be kidnapped. You know, we're going to be two women in Islamic captivity. It doesn't bear thinking about. So I'm now trying to, you know, your mind doesn't work quick enough. You want to, like, what do I do now? I mean, if we run, we can't run. You know, it's like they catch us up. If we scream, there's no options. I'm running out of ideas. And he comes back and he says in Hebrew, take off your shoes. So I'm more confused, like, what does he want in my shoes? And then he takes out the laces and he ties our hands behind our back. Then he takes off Christine's fleece from around her waist, chops it up, and they gag us. He takes off my glasses and he sees my Star of David. And then he just takes it off like a gentleman, you know, and he puts it in his pocket. So we're standing side by side, gagged, bound and barefoot. And I'm waiting now to be pushed through the forest to this car and then into Gaza. But instead of that, one comes between us, separates us, and he pushes me on my knees, head forward, and then I see this light. And it's the sun glinting off his knife. And I prepare myself for the unthinkable. I prepare to be beheaded. And then, I mean, I'm a musician, so a lot of this I remember musically. But it's like this cosmic symphony. They scream, Allahu Akbar, you know, Allah is great. Christine, behind her gag, she says, Jesus, help me. And I throw up, basically. And I gurgle the Jewish creed, Hear, O Israel, Shema Israel. And the next thing I know, I have a pain so hard in my back and I fall to the ground. And I'm on my side, and now he's leaning on my side, so I'm like this. And he's plunging that knife into me so hard, repeatedly. I can actually hear my bones crunch. And I thought, I'm 46 years old. This is what I'm thinking. I'm being murdered. I mean, what you think about when you're being murdered. And I knew that the only chance I have is to play dead. So people, as much as I know, they die with their eyes open. So I made a moral choice to keep my eyes open and try and just not move, although the pain, until today, I haven't found a way to describe it. So I keep my eyes open, and he's smashing and tearing skin, and I stare 2 meters away, and I see an innocent Christian woman chopped up like a vegetable in front of my eyes. And after 12 times, they leave. And I'm like, there's no pain anymore. It's just beyond feeling. And I'm still like laying on the ground, and suddenly there's these vibrations, and they're getting harder and louder, and they're coming back. It's their footsteps.
Ik probeer te bevatten wat Kay op die bewuste dag heeft moeten doormaken, maar dat is onmogelijk. Het valt me op dat ze elk moment tot in de kleinste details weet terug te halen.
And one rolls me over on my back, and now I'm looking up at the trees. And I see this amazing sunset. It's like pink and purple and orange, and suddenly it's obscured by the silhouette of a man's hand that God made, clutching a knife. And I watch him stab me in the chest. And I didn't blink, move. And that one missed my heart by 4 millimeters. So they think I'm dead. I think I'm nearly dead. And they leave. And then I'm laying there, and I have one last mission in life, and that is I want to choose where I die. Even if it's I die 1 millimeter, I want that last word. So I try to get up, and I'm on the slope of a hill. I keep falling down, and finally I said to myself, God, if I can't get up this time, it's okay. You know, and nothing hurts anymore. I just want to sleep, but sleep is death. And I managed to stand, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, So I turn my back on what's left of my friend. And then I say if I can walk 1, 2, 3 more paces nearer to where I got back to the car, then the police can find my body and these savages can be caught. So I just, barefoot, gag bound, I begin to walk through the thistles and climbing rocks, and I've got no arms to balance. And I'm thinking, you know, never again am I going to hear jazz music or the desert wind or the Mediterranean or drink good wine or hug the people I love. All this grief, these wasted opportunities. And in order not to think about Christine and reach my goal, which is death, I begin to think of an arrangement, in a piano arrangement of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which was written by 2 Jewish cantors on the eve of World War II. And it also speaks about a better world. So just thinking about this music, I managed to get right back to where I parked the car. There was a family there. They called the police, the ambulance, the army. I'm rushed to hospital. I had 6 ribs that had snapped and were poking out of my back. I had additional 30 compound fractures. Bones had splintered off into my lungs and diaphragm. Had a crushed sternum, a broken shoulder blade, a dislocated shoulder, 13 machete wounds in my lungs and diaphragm. And in that state, gag-bound barefoot, I walked uphill for over a mile. So I'm rushed to hospital. I'm still realizing I'm going to be dead very soon, because obviously my lungs were filled with blood and water. And the irony, and it's good we can laugh at the irony, but the last words I hear on the operating table was from a Jewish surgeon to his Muslim colleague, and he said, "Muhammad, give me the knife." So it was this is also an important part of the story. It was an Arab surgeon who saved my life. And then, you know, there was a police blackout for a few weeks because they wanted to catch a whole cell. And yeah, 6 weeks later, it was really big news here. That little stab, that tiny little stab, it was the DNA on the blood, on his blood on my knife, that caught them. I also remembered their faces very clearly, so I gave very accurate descriptions. And so they were actually arrested 36 hours after the murder. And along with it was a 13-man Palestinian terror cell. So that's the beginning of the rest of my life.
Wow. And what was your friend?
Well, her body was found in the sunrise the next morning.
Beide terroristen bekennen hun daad en ze krijgen levenslang.
Kay heeft hier op de laptop een heleboel foto's van wat er is gebeurd. En ik heb gevraagd of ze die wil laten zien.
Yes, this one, it's a very, very important document, okay? And it's taking place between the investigator, the police investigator, before the trial, and the murderer who murdered Christine Luken and also Netta Blatsorek. So the terrorist says, "We came to kill." Investigator. Kill who? Jews. Why? Just because we came to kill. Is there a reason? No reason.
That's what it says here.
That's exactly what it says there. By the way, they say that we came to kill. They came to murder. You know, there's a very different moral weight to the word murder or the action of murder and towards kill. So this is huge, you know, because there's no reason. There's no conflict, there's no suffering here. It's just they have been taught to murder Jewish people. And then we have, let's have a look. More.
This is all like the interrogation.
And then, oh no, you don't want to see that. Oh no, not that one either. Hang on a minute. All right, now this is an amazing picture. Let me just enlarge it for you. Now this photo, it was taken less than a minute before I arrived there. So you can see he's having his, like, I don't know what he's cooking, marshmallows or something with his kids. And I'm coming towards him.
When you were wounded?
Yeah, I've just walked a mile. I'm nearly dead. You know, I'm nearly dead at this point. And so he's doing this and then he looks up and I mean, all hell breaks loose then, you know, it like throws away the marshmallow and attends to me, but that's a really incredible picture. It's like a moment frozen in time.
What is this?
That's my jacket.
With all the stabbing
Yeah.
holes in it.
It's a bit blurry. Yeah, the knives.
Also.
But you know, we're talking serrated steel. Okay, this is the person who stabbed me.
Who stabbed you?
Yeah.
How did it change you?
Well, it's in many, many ways. So to answer more broadly, if I tell you what I've lost, okay? I lost my friend, I've lost my health, I lost my vocation, being a tour guide. It's very hard for me to go back to this. I lost weight, sleep, routine, the ability to engage in just the mundane, the desire to want to be with people. I lost a sense of innocence. Like, when I say I've lost my innocence, it's like if you put it in a religious terms. You know, you have the temple and the Holy of Holies. Like, nobody goes in the Holy of Holies. But I feel I barged in, and I saw something I should never have seen. And that is a scar that never gets better. So there's these huge losses, all right? If you know the losses, then I can say how it's changed me. For the good. And it's changed me in the sense that I've come to value living in the moment. Not in a blasé way. Everybody, you know, that's such a cliche. But I'm so aware, maybe hyper aware, that this could be my last minute. So this conversation is the best conversation I've ever had in my life, because nothing else exists. So I've learned to appreciate, to value life more.
More, okay.
Much more. And also, I've learned to choose my battles. You know, I've learned that I think everybody, we get so upset or anxious about the stupidest things, like money. We don't have enough money. You know, it's like these things don't worry me anymore.
Can you tell me about today, how you fight for justice?
Okay, for justice, I do it through an organisation called Stand With Us.
Jewish organization?
Yes, Israeli, but we have Arabs and Jews doing our stuff. We advocate, we educate about Israel. We contest the boycott, divest, sanctions movement, which is a Nazi policy all over North American universities and in Europe.
Yeah.
And I go on campuses or in synagogues and churches and I tell my story. And, you know, I speak about the incitement in the Palestinian Authority. But also I've been, through Stand With Us, advocating for stopping European and American taxpayers giving money to the Palestinian Authority because they reward terrorists. And there was some success in Britain, because I also have British citizenship, where the British government decided to suspend at least the monies until they give a proper account. So now we want to do the Americans government and the European government. That's one thing.
De Palestijnse autoriteit geeft een uitkering aan de families van veroordeelde terroristen. Hoe meer mensen ze vermoord hebben, des te hoger de uitkering. Indirect financiert Europa met haar steun aan de Palestijnse autoriteit op die manier dus terrorisme. Geweld tegen Joden wordt verheerlijkt op de officiële Palestijnse televisie. We kregen een uitzending in handen over de moeder van de terrorist die Kay aanviel. Hier wordt hij geportretteerd als slachtoffer en niet als dader.
معنا في بداية هذه الحلقة والدة الأسير البطل كفاح غنيمات المحكوم مدى الحياة معتقل منذ 10 أعوام يعطيك.
والحمد لله ربنا إن شاء الله يفتش أسره وأسر كل المأسورين يا ربي.
آمين.
كفاح ابني وكل الشباب وكل الأسرة أولادنا وإخواننا يعني. والله يمكن إلي 3 أشهر ولا 4 ما زرت كفاح لأن ما فيش إنه تسريح.
نعم.
بعطوش إنه تسريح يعني. وبتعرف رمضان والله الواحد بيشوق لابنه يكون عنده أولاده ويكون يعني برا ويكون
شو كان
بيننا.
يحب في رمضان؟ احكي لنا هيك، شو كان يحب أكلات؟ كيف كانت السهرات هيك تذكريه؟
والله هو يعني
حالياً.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والله يعني الحمد لله كويس وهادي وما فيش عنده مشاكل.
شو الأكلة
والله
المفضلة كانت عنده؟
والله بحب يعني مثلا صينية مشاوي مقلوبة إشي هيك يعني بتعرف الولد بربيش إلا أبوه.
صحيح.
يعني ما بيهاب الأم، بيهاب الأبو أكثر من الأم. فإن شاء الله يا ربي أنا بطلب من الله يطلع ويربي أولاده ويعلمهم ويربيهم ما تقنط من رحمة الله، رحمة الله قريبة إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله يا رب تكون أنت بيننا وإن شاء الله.
So when we came in and we said hello to each other, you came across as a very open-minded, happy person. How can you stay happy when the world around you is so crazy here?
What, you want me to go slit my wrists or something? It's like, listen, we have to, I think it's never this and that. It's never this or that. It's this and that, you know? And I'm because I'm an artist and a musician, I feel deeply anyway. But I mean, as much as I hate evil, I love goodness. You know what? I don't hold every Arab or Muslim accountable for what these people did. I love my Arab friends. Yeah. I love my Arab friends. I've hidden Arabs in my house from Muslims who want to kill them because they're pro-Israel. So I mean, it's like there's so many beautiful things in life. Life is amazing. And look, it's a beautiful world. But it's a fractured world, you know. But we can't like just dissolve into all this pink fluffy, you know. We're going to love them. We're going to love them. They're going to change. We're going to give them jobs. We have to be righteous, you know. Being angry, being raging at evil, is not a bad character. It's the right thing to do, and then it frees us to like love and accept and enjoy.
Wow.
We hebben nog tijden met elkaar verder gepraat op die veranda in Arad. Kay Wilson. Een bijzondere vrouw met een vreselijk verhaal. Maar tegelijk iemand die op haar eigen manier haar pijn heeft ingezet om op te staan voor haar volk. Haar verhaal raakt aan de kern van essentiële levensvragen waar geen makkelijk antwoord op te vinden is.
Nou ja, we komen net bij Kay vandaan en ik moet zeggen, ik ben wel eventjes er stil van en onder de indruk. En nog niet eens zozeer om datgene wat ze heeft verteld, wat er op die bewuste dag van de aanslag met haar is gebeurd, wat er allemaal is aangedaan. Want dat is verschrikkelijk en dat is niet te bevatten en dat kan je ook niet voorstellen als je het niet zelf hebt meegemaakt. Maar waar ik echt vooral van onder de indruk ben, is hoe zij na die tijd haar leven weer heeft opgepakt. En niet alleen dat, maar dat ze ook heeft besloten om haar leven toe te wijden, om op te komen voor de volk, om de land te steunen, om echt een verschil te maken en een positieve bijdrage te geven aan de samenleving. En dat vond ik prachtig om te zien en dat is ook iets wat ik echt mee naar huis neem, wat echt een voorbeeld is voor me.